has spun through. We're not going to let it play a second time for you guys. We're not going to make everybody wait. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to INN and the version of the Eve interviews. This is another history stream. We have today Un4seen Development and Mr. CJ Allyn, and I'll let him introduce himself.
Well, that's me. I'm CJ. I'm the CEO of U4D. I'm a FC and Goons.
And I always remember you because you tend to say "God bless."
God bless. I do. That's my thing. I used to say weenies a lot. That was also my thing. I was on a few talk shows in the past with talking in stations and stuff like that, and that was like my signature thing. I got on and did a debate with our enemy leader, and I called him a weenie several times live, and he was very upset. And I'm happy that he was upset. That was the point. Anyway,
this makes me very happy. And I love that it has switched from weenies to God bless.
God bless. Yeah.
Yep. So, all right. So let's get started. I will let you guide at the conversation however you wish, but we have a couple questions that we're just going to go through.
Go ahead.
To kind of make it easy. So, how was the name Un4seen Development thought of, and kind of where did that originate?
Well, I could tell you, but I can't because I don't know. Well, it's just the way the name was. The guy that named it is long gone, and I don't think I ever met him.
You know, and that's fair.
It's an Un4seen Development. I didn't start. Well, U4D was founded in 2005, so 20 years ago. All right, I was still in middle school when this corp got founded. I didn't start playing until like 2012, 2013, I think. Something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I don't know how the name became. I know that it was in Nullsec for a little while, and then it was in it basically took off in Great Wildlands. If that's your next question, I don't know. I lost your list.
Hey, you know what? I lose my own list occasionally, and that is totally okay. I would lose my head if it were not attached. So we kind of got how it kind of really took off in the Great Wildlands, and how how you were not the original CEO, that it's been around for a while.
No, I've only been the CEO for a couple of years, a year and a half, I think.
Oh, wow. So
temporary, okay, air quotes.
Temporary?
Temporary CEO.
So, of the history that you know from when you have been in the Corp, can you tell us a little bit about that? And
I can. Is this where we start the novel?
Yes, this is where you officially
I have prepared.
Drop a novel on us.
Get your snacks. All right, so U4D had started in GW as a PvP corp, obviously, and we were unique. GW is unique, and it was NRDS, Rules of Engagement, which is not Red Don't Shoot, which is long since extinct, obviously. So as far as the history that I can speak to, I joined U4D in 2016, 17. I don't remember. I'd have to look at my character. Because I had been flying with Severance, the alliance that U4D was in, for a couple years in my old alliance. And I started FCing for Severance and Provi Block, the coalition that we were in Providence. And I just felt like the next step was just to join the Corp. Because I was basically living on their front porch. You know, they kept the light on for me, kept the food bowl out, so that was nice. And they paid me when I died, so that was cool. That never happened before.
You know, hey, at least you're like is this the equivalent of the cat distribution system?
Yeah, basically, I was the cat and Severance was the house.
Yeah.
And U4D was the sofa. So we were Severance and U4D. We lived in KBP, which is the front door to Providence, and I was there for years. We did fleets all the time, every night. We went out, we stayed home. We always had a good time. And U4D was like a small gang, medium gang PvP group. That's like we cut our teeth. I pride my members on having talent in the game and being good at what they do. You know, they're not just the brainless, you know, that you see sometimes. I
They're
pride
not
myself.
hanger queens?
Yes, they're good. They're PvP pilots first and foremost. So we did that for a while. And it was fun. It was a few good years, and then CCP decided, no, none of that. Screw you. No more fun. We're gonna change how SOV mechanics works, and so began the treacherous befallment. Where do I begin? The Goon invasion. Yes, that's right. When FozzieSov came out, the Goons came to Providence. They rained terror upon us. So the Goons were cool about it. Actually, it was a good spirited invasion. They split their coalition. I don't remember what they called it back then.
Was it
can't-
was it still the Imperium or was it CFC?
No, it was CFC. I think it was
We're gonna
definitely
refer to
before
it, as
it was.
because I don't want to.
It was like
piss off any
I,
leadership
I
here.
I think it was CFC is what they called it at the time, but it was so they split up all the little alliances into groups, and Proviblock had several medium-sized alliances also. And then there was CVA, which was the big one. Severance and Uli were kind of on the medium side. And so they were cool about it, and they just split everybody up, and they basically said, all right, you fight this constellation and this and then this. And it was really cool. It was a good time because nobody knew how the new mechanics would work when FozzieSov came out, and we obviously helped CCP refine the mechanics a bit because when it first came out, it was pretty awful, as
So
most of
you're
you know.
Saying that okay, so I'm making sure that I'm understanding correctly. Goons came to Pravi and said, "Hey, go test FozzieSov." Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, by invading us and taking our stuff. It wasn't optional, if that's what you mean.
No,
Hey, we're gonna invade you guys. Get ready.
I see. I really thought that it was a non-consensual soft touching, and I had to make sure that
it kind of was. It was.
Yeah.
We got a warning, which was nice.
Oh, well, at least
That was
you
about
got a
it.
warning.
And so I think we got put up against Razor and Bastion,
Ooh.
if I remember. And we were pretty much 50-50. Like we would fight every night on the KBP Fortizar or station at the time. It wasn't a fort then. And we would fight Zealots versus Serbs every night, and we would just clobber each other to the last man most of the time. It was a good time. I will say that it was a fun invasion. It was fair. And then when the Goons collected the data that they wanted, they just fucked off. They're just like, all right, that was cool. See you guys. And it was like, okay. We just collected all of our space back. It was really bizarre.
I mean, that's kind of funny, and
It was
yes.
good. It was good. I liked it.
I guess it
Some
works
people
for
hated
game
it.
development.
So, but I got to really cut my teeth as an FC doing that. I did a lot of fleets during that era. Every night I was doing 3 or 4 fleets, defending SOV or whatever. So we learned a lot about how to fight this, which is still going on today, the FozzieSov, on how to control systems, control choke points, how to take nodes, jam nodes, do what you got to do, you know. Certain fits, like the Bifrost meta. The T2 Bifrost meta was basically born in Providence.
Oh,
That was like our thing. We would warp in with the 50k T2 toaster, cycle it, boosh off, and warp off, or burn away. Because back then they didn't have the speed tack, whatever you will call it. It was unlimited speed, so you could go like 15. We were doing the 50 MN Bifrosts, and they were just stupid. They would go like 15,000 kilometers a second. So they nerfed that. So it's 4,000 meters a second now. But so that was basically our fault. My bad, CCP. Okay, forgive me.
Hey, it happens, and that's okay.
All right. Anyway,
least you're no longer you're not responsible for why
I'm not. Yeah,
marauders cannot go on ESSs anymore.
It's another story.
Yeah, it really is.
Anyway, so after the goons left, it was fine for a while. It was back to business as usual. And then CCP's like, you know what? Fuck you guys some more. We're going to take your stations away. And so this is when they turned the stations into NPC Fortizars. You know, like the margins or whatever they're called.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, Providence was full of Care Bears. Thousands of them. And there was a station in every system, god darn it. Just about every system had a station in it. So PL, Pandemic Legion, this is before Horde was even thought of. I think they were like in infancy at this point. PL and NC came, and they basically beat the living snot out of us. They outnumbered us probably 2-1 for the majority of the fights, and I really got disheartened during that. That was not fun, unlike the Goon one. They brought caps. Like the goons didn't bring caps. That was cool. They left the cap swarm at home. The PL guys, they brought the supers. Okay, I'm talking revenants. I didn't even know what a revenant was. Okay, and it was destroying my fleets.
Damn.
You know, so it was not fun. We did not have a good time. I remember the last fleet that I FC'd during that campaign pretty vividly. We were in XHQ on the Uli Federation's last Fortizar, their last hope. It was a hull timer, and it was ticking down, and we were outnumbered 2-1, and we said, fuck it. And we dropped our entire super capital fleet in, and PL got scared. I'd never been so proud in my life. I was like, God bless, boys, we did it. And then they killed it 2 days later. So that was cool.
No.
That was a good time. It was not. I hated it. So basically, they took all our stuff, kicked over our sandcastles, and we're just like, well, fuck, now what? So we left. We went to Detal, which is right next to KBP, after we lost our last fort in there. Obviously, the stations hadn't flipped at this point. Fortizars and Citadels had just come out relatively recently. So they were all over the place. So we had a few in Detal that were large, and we were able to get all our stuff out pretty safely. And then, in our infinite wisdom, after PL had destroyed everything and left a smoldering mess, we went to GW again with Severance. And that was a mistake. So basically, what had happened was, we went out there and we're like, well, there's nobody here, so we can just set up shop. And we saw some moons, because the moon miners had came out, the Athenors. Those had literally just come out, and people were loving them. So we saw a few nice moons. There's some R64s down there, and we're like, wow, we'll just reinforce these and put down our own. Big mistake. Somehow, some way, there's this giant sleeper cell that lives under the ground at GW that we didn't know about. There's like 100 of them. And we showed up to kill the thing, and we got jumped. We had no idea they even existed. We were there on our like 60-man serb fleet, and we got jumped by like 120 Munins, and we got clobbered. So we spent a few months on the back foot fighting these weirdos. I don't even remember who it was, to be honest. I couldn't tell you their names to this day. I try to repress that part of my memory. We were moving to a fort. This was like the last week we were there, I think, and we got dropped by NC. And we lost a pretty good portion of our cap fleet. And, yeah, that wasn't cool. I blame Ark for that. He was the FC, actually.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I forgot to mention Ark. He's my good buddy. We've been FCing together for about 10 years, probably. I don't know.
Hell
He
yeah.
joined Severance, like towards the tail end of the PL invasion, I think. I can't remember. But when we moved to GW, he started taking over as the main FC, which was fine by me. I was pretty sad at that point and didn't really want to do it anymore.
You're also probably tired. That's a lot of
Yeah,
fighting
well,
in a short amount of time.
this is over a few years. You got to keep that in mind. Obviously, I've been playing this game for a decade, right? So
Yeah.
this is over the course of a few years. But the PLGW situation, that was like within 6 months. It was not healthy. We lost a lot of members in my corp and in my alliance. Obviously, I wasn't the leader of the alliance, but I was, a leadership, I guess you could say. I was the elite FC. So we were in GW, then we left after we heard that Test, Goon's greatest foe, the dinosaur dudes. They're like, hey, we're gonna take all these stations. Do you want any? If you come help us liberate your old home, we'll give you a few stations. And we're like, hell yeah! And we ran back to KBP as fast as we could see. It was crazy. All the old members came back. It was great. We went back to KP, took back our system from PL with Legacy and Test Alliance. Because Billy had said, yo, here's the deal. We'll give you some stations, like I said. And we got some stations. PL got stomped badly. It wasn't even close, I don't think. They got beat into the ground. Old Feedliner, he hit the trail. Okay? I didn't see him again until I moved up north.
Okay.
Good riddance. So, this is when the Cold War starts. After Test had come in and taken all of our stations under the guise of being good friends. Goddamn weenies. So yeah, they took our stations, they left us, so we're just here with our cardboard boxes. We're like, all right, now what? So we got our KBP fort, which was a station before the pigsty. We still have that to this day. I think LT still has it in his hangar. It's like an heirloom.
You said L2? Who?
LT EOS.
Oh, L2. Oh, okay. I was like, who?
He's the old leader of Severance.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
So he still has it to this day. I think he wears it around his neck like a medallion.
It might just be a hanger prop at this point.
It is. I guarantee you that thing will never get placed again. So it's a family heirloom from Furious Pig.
That's funny.
Anyway. So the Cold War started.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I kind of I started FCing again against this group. It was Wrecking Crew. I was trying to remember their name. It was a loose group of basically old Provi dudes, XPL dudes, a real mixed bag. They're a lot of degenerates, really. I called them weenies a lot, and that like I said, that became my signature.
If the shoe fits.
If the shoe fits, so they were weenies, yes. So I called it. Asher loves the term porcupine offensive. They would drop a fort or a station in our staging and time zone tank it, where we could only fight with like half our dudes at like 1 a.m. It was not fun. It got real old real quick. It was a Cold War. We had some good fights here and there, but it was mostly they're a lot like BFL, the horde dudes that basically only fight you when there's 300 meat shields in front of them, and then they bring their nightmares out. Yeah, that's those guys basically. Same kind of deal.
Yeah. Those
weenies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were weenies, like professional weenies even. Some might say.
Professional wieners.
Professional, like I don't know. I don't miss those guys. So yeah, we got sick of that, and then basically Provi Block, the coalition reformed. Obviously, it fought these dudes, and it basically self-destructed. I don't want to get into the nitty gritty. Some mean things were said. I'm still friends with the CVA dudes to this day. I wish that things would have ended on better terms, but they didn't. And we got an offer from Villy again. To come fight, be my vassals, soldiers. Come fight for me. We will fight the big goon. And I was like, all right, fine. And then we went down to Catch and joined Brave. We're like, hi, Brave. I know we fought a lot, but now we're friends. And we've been attached to the hip, oddly enough, for a while now. I don't know why, but it's just the way it is. So we joined Test and Legacy. We specifically we joined Legacy, which was like Test's feudal vassals, I guess you call them. What do you call it? I guess that's pretty much what it is. It was a group of like 7 or 8 alliances that were just grouped together. They were smaller than Test. They could form one big fleet together, basically. So Ark and I would FC for Legacy a lot during the Goon War. Most of you guys know how the Goon War went. We got to the finish line and
this is the
the
second
big,
Goon
yes,
War.
the big one that happened
The big one.
recently. I say recent. That was 5 years ago, wasn't it? 4
Yeah,
years ago.
5 years ago.
Golly,
It's been a
that's long.
uh,
It's depressing. Anyway, so we FC'd a lot. We did a lot of fights. It was a good time for the most part. And then you know how that ended. We got to the finish line, and Billy and Headliner and those guys were like, "What finish line?" Rug pulled us and just left us to die, basically. So that was cool. Yeah. So they left us to die. I remember vividly the last day of the war. We just got done a fight, and we were warping back to the Keepstar, and I see Billy's super jump out, and I'm like, where's he going with that wyvern, I wonder? And then I see the Discord ping. All right, everybody, we're done. We're going home. And they unanchored the Keepstars. Yeah, so basically we just got thrown out the window along with Brave and, the other guys. I can't remember all the alliances that we fought with there. There was a bunch. Yeah, we were in Quirius at the time. We were living in Quirius. We had a good setup there, man. That was nice. Thanks, Goons. It was a good time while we lived there. And then so we got basically routed out. There was no organization. As some of you guys that were in Goons at the time and that weren't remember how bloody the retreat was. It was vicious. There was no organization. It was people were getting picked off left and right. Supers were dying by the minute. Keepstars were blowing up. It was bad. So we got back to catch, and then we kind of regrouped, and we're just like, all right, well, let's stop the Goons from coming back across the river for a minute while we collect ourselves. And we basically did that. I think like half of us. Well, we couldn't bring the caps that way. We had to go the long way with the caps, but we did the freighter, the skylift through the 49U, and some caps went through there, but most of them we had to go the long way through Pravi. And that was not fun. That took a lot of money. That was billions of ISK, trillions even for the coalition, which was basically non-existent. So then we got to catch again, and we're just like, well, I guess we'll stick our thumb out the window and just hope somebody picks us up. we Constantine, some of the Goons know Constantine, the leader of Fire, who I think he's still doing it. Was like, hey guys, Sukablit, join Russia. And we're like, okay, I guess. We got nowhere else to go, and we're not going with Test of drones and die, which is exactly what Test did, by the way. They're still dead to this day, I think.
I believe they are. I believe they're in this little pentagram-shaped system that they rent from Frat.
Oh, I'm sure. Sapporo Jones is still doing the thing. I don't mind Sapporo. He's a good dude, but Billy, I don't. I hope that guy. I hope Billy steps in water with his socks on. I really do.
See, I would have said.
I don't mean to be rude, but
there are a number of people that would go. I hope you step in dog shit with socks on, because that's worse than water.
Whoa, that's that's gross.
Worse than water.
It is. It is. All right, so yeah, we joined Fire. This is our third coalition in like 3 years, so we're having not good luck. Mm-hmm. So we joined Fire, and it was pretty chill for the most part. Mm-hmm. Constantine gave Ark and I keys pretty much day one, and when they were letting us do interference for the test dudes that were running, who were blue with Fire, obviously Horde, and because a lot of the fallout from Test, Horde, or PL Legacy had all joined Horde at this point. This is where Horde really started to take off, because they just basically absorbed all these smaller groups that were running for their lives. We declined the offer, obviously. We didn't want to be... Severance wanted to be its own entity, and U4D, obviously, and Severance wanted to to be ourselves. We wouldn't have an identity in Horde, obviously. So we joined Fire, and we were basically the sole proprietor of the USTZ task force, because Constantine is Russia, obviously Russian TZ. Anything outside of Russian TZ, you're basically left to your own devices.
Okay, yeah.
So there was some other smaller alliances that were in and out. They were fine, that helped us do stuff, but we were pretty much it. And we grew to a fairly decent size at that point. We were doing stuff all the time, little skirmishes here and there, and then the goons came back. Oh, the evil goons. They never rest. They never will, probably. They hate Horde with every ounce of their being, and unfortunately, between Horde and them was us.
At least at this moment in time, yeah.
So the goons are back. This time they didn't give us a warning, and they were not nice. They started taking our southern regions. I forget the name. Impasse, perhaps. Yeah. I'd have to look at the map, to be honest. It's where we just lived, actually.
I have a map up, so if you were in Catch...
I want to say we were in Catch. We evac to Catch. We moved to Imensi. We were basically living near SeaTac J. Our home in Fire was in Scalding Pass in V-F, which is right up the road from where we live now, funnily enough. So I want to run that map. Basically, I didn't even,
Yep.
Yeah, so the goons came. We fought them for a while. It wasn't great. And then Horde's like, all right, we'll help you because we don't want them to come bother us. And then they helped us. BFL came, and it was super lame. Like, a lot of people don't have the experience of fighting with Horde like we do. That's why, like, when we fight them a lot now, you hear me speak out against them because I know how they operate. The way they commit warfare is very peculiar, to say the least. BFL had come down to help us, or Fire, defend against goons, and I think Init was there too, but Init didn't do much because it was their EUTZ just didn't have anything to do because it was all RU stuff, so they just basically quit after a while. So yeah, BFL basically starved the goons out of content. They completely denied them of any fun, and us along with it.
Sounds about like BNFL.
Yes, this is the PL version of BFL, obviously. Yeah, so. Headliner had been basically the content starver, and obviously it works both ways. So
it does.
We just our membership started falling off over time, and then the goons left, and everything kind of stabilized. It was peaceful for a while, and then the great fucking occurred. My glorious Keepstar. We in our great infinite wisdom decided to anchor a Keepstar Severance, and it was great. It was glorious. I'm so proud of it. It was anchored completely crooked. The jump bridge was straight up. It was awful. I loved it. It was my home, okay? Perfect. It was my Keepstar. It was ours. Okay, we fought for this. We saved up our pennies and our nickels over the years for this. And we anchored it wrong, and we put the jump bridge above it instead of in front of it. Okay? It's the truth.
Fine.
It's the truth. And then the Horde came, and they're like, you know what? We don't like you guys no more. And then killed us.
Oh, man.
Shot us in the back with a blaster. Not a handheld one. The ones on dreadnoughts. They killed my Keepstar. They kicked over my sandcastles again. After I just rebuilt my sandcastles again. Yeah, so I think, I don't remember exactly what the problem was, but Constantine got into a fight with Gabarino about rent or something stupid. And he's like, wow, we want to use this space to rent to people. And Constantine's like, well, we rent all that. It's ours. We rent it. Because obviously you know that the Russians, they love to rent. It's
they like money.
Whole shtick. They love
like
money, you know?
Yeah.
And obviously we never did renting. You know, we were going to think about it, but I don't think it would have worked just because the way the coalition worked at the time. It was a money pit. So basically, yeah, Horde came in, killed all our stuff, wiped out fire completely from this area, turned it into a floodplains, air quotes, and then left the front door open. And I told Gobbins and those guys, I'm like, listen, the goons are
So
gonna come
dumb.
now, and there's nothing standing in their fucking way. And guess what the goons did? They're like, hey, you guys, the fire dudes, you need to go. We can tell you, and they let us pass.
Oh, that's
They
nice.
lent out. It's so surreal. Let me tell you. After fighting Goon Swarm for years, tooth and nail, to the bloody bitter end, in a year of multi-year conflict, to them to reach out their hand and say, "You guys can pass through our space. We will not hurt you," was fucking wild. They let our super fleet move through their space through Quirius up through 49U up north to join B2 in Pureblind. The Pureblind conflict. This is where we basically said, well, what are we going to do now? And Starfleet Commander was like, hey, you guys are homeless, obviously. Would you like to bring your cardboard box here and put it next to my cardboard box? And I was like, well, you know what? That's a good idea. So we followed Severance up there. This is all Ark's plan, by the way. He thought this was a good idea. I thought it was a terrible idea. I thought we should have joined Goons on the way there, because we got offers a few times from Goons and some of the other alliances in Imperium. But yeah, so we went to B2 to hang out with Brave and those guys, fight fraternity in Chinatown. That was not fun. Yeah, we killed a couple Keep Stars. Some of you guys might know the Op1 Mumble channel, back-to-back X47 champions. Yep, we were there. That was our thing. That was dumb. With 1100 Eve time, 100% tie-dye.
Oh my
Seven.
God.
Oh, how long were those fights? I don't even know. I don't even want to think about it. It was like a 12-hour fight. It was stupid.
Oh, at minimum, if I remember right, some of the really, really big fights were, because 100% tie-dye is like, you click a button,
It was like
10 minutes
yeah, it was
later.
Like 10% in game, I guess is what it is. But
It can
was not.
technically be lower.
It was so terrible. We just did one the other day, and I got PTSD from it. Man, it was not cool.
Oh God,
I was like, man, why are we doing this? I vowed to never do a tie-dye fight again, and I've been in like a dozen since. And whatever.
Goodness, it's just come back.
Anyway, so B2 B2 was weird. I don't really. It was very. It was kind of like the GW thing. It was like we were there for a little bit. Things didn't go very well. We had some space. We had some moons and stuff. We pushed for it back, and they kind of like gave up. But then I don't know, like what happened with I think Starfleet Commander was just like, you know what, I don't want to do this no more. It just quit. Then B2 imploded. So I don't know if this is a trend, and I hope that Goons don't die. I'm sorry if you do. It's not my fault. It's just a curse.
Don't curse us with God damn it,
Dude. Nah, Goons is doing better than ever now. Okay, the trend's going up. It hasn't done that before. Okay, so it should be fine.
This is fair.
It should be fine. Okay, I can't make any promises, but it should. Anyway, so we were in Cloud Ring or whatever, Pureblind. And we imploded, and then the wolves came and started picking off the sheep. Brave was on his last leg. I don't even remember what Brave did. What did Brave even do after they left BT? I don't know. Jinx was having a midlife crisis, I think.
I
I'm not
haven't
sure.
interviewed anybody from Brave yet, so I have.
Ask him what they
no
did after
reference.
B2. Because I know they didn't join Goons right away.
Okay.
I know they joined sometime after. So we were like, well, now what? LT is like, I don't want to do this no more. And I'm like, I don't blame you, man. This has been a long, bumpy road, brother. And he's like, yeah, I think it's time to retire. And then Asher contacted myself and Jonan, the old CEO, and Ark, and LT, and the guys from Ramu, Majestic, and some guys from Miners Inn, because obviously Goons wants to get some numbers from this if they can, and so they cherry picked some PvP corps. Obviously, I don't blame them.
I don't either.
But we fell into Goons' open arms yet again. This time as members of Goon Swarm. Asher's a really cool dude. He was like, "Yo, you guys want to come?" And we're like, "All right, let's go. This will be our retirement home, hopefully." and we moved into Delve. It was great. Asher gave me and Art keys like the day we joined. They're like, here, you want to go take out a battleship? Have at it. And we're like, okay, all right. It was good. It was fun. It was super cool. Yeah, we did some op stuff with him. It was a good time. And then the rest is basically up till now. You guys have been along for the ride. So that is the end of my novel. Here we are, back where I used to live, almost on my dead Keepstar's body, fighting Horde who killed it. So you'll never see no malice for me against Horde. I hate them to the bitter end, and that's a fact.
As you mentioned, Asher, I have to do an obligatory showing of the baby Asher that we adopted this weekend.
Did you name it? Did you name it Asher?
Mr. Imahara named him Asher.
Hell yeah.
And my contribution to this was hubris.
Hubris, yeah.
Hubris, because you have to. You absolutely have to.
I don't know anybody named Hubris. Asher told me I didn't, so I don't.
You know, that's fair. That's really fair. All right, so we have gotten to how you guys join Goons. We've gotten to, you guys had a huge ass.
I told you it was a novel. We've been around the block.
I love it.
That's only my part of it. There's 10 more years I don't even know.
Oh my goodness. See, that's okay.
I'd love to get some notes from Jonan someday in detail about what they did back in the day. Because I know they were born in GW, and that was before my time. And they used to do all kinds of goofy small gang stuff against RMC back then. And I wish I knew more about it. But yeah.
That sounds fun.
It was fun. I lived in GW after they left. Probably a few years, and I did NRDS for a while, and that's why I moved to Pravi, because NRDS was super cool to me. Mm-hmm. I thought that letting people, any random Joe Schmo, come live where you want. Yeah. Just come on out, do whatever.
Absolutely. So
just go ahead.
No, you're fine. So we kind of got to how you came to do all this. You got through some stuff, got through the history, and you were totally right. This is a novel. I absolutely loved it, though. I have to ask, so I'm assuming you had offers from a lot of different places, and kind of during
over the years,
all this point during the years, and why, when Un4seen Development joined the Imperium, why was it a good choice for them? We had several implosions.
Well, I think our choices were pretty limited at that time. We had some other offers from obviously Horde and another group, some groups in Winter Co. Another group that was starting, that was supposed to start attacking Winter Co. like fallouts from B2, but like I said, the options were pretty limited. And Goons just seemed like the logical step, because when you think about endgame PvP, you think about Goons versus fucking Horde, right? So that's where you end up.
Absolutely.
So that's basically what it was. It was endgame PvP. We wanted a retirement home. Obviously, we stayed in Delve for a year, and then we moved, and so I had to move my retirement home. I'm still not happy about it, but here we are.
It happens, and it's okay. Oh my gosh.
I blame CCP for all my ill beings. That's all I gotta say. Everything that's ever bad that's ever happened to my corp, it's CCP's fault, and I'll never let him. Oh, except for the Keepstar getting blown up by Horde. That was Gabarino's fault. Goddamn weenie. Anyway.
That's fair. That's valid. So we've got through most of my stuff. I do have to ask though. So you guys have a long corp history. We haven't really talked much about current. And so can you tell me some of the awesome stuff that Un4seen Development does for its members, and are you recruiting?
Well, we are recruiting selectively, obviously. We're not an open enrollment group. as far as awesome stuff, you know, we do the old corp stuff, you know, whatever that new thing is that they added. But most U4D members are all self-sufficient for
Hell
the
yeah.
most part. We do like mining stuff, like the moons. We do mining ops for that. But everybody else pretty much does their own thing when they're not doing fleet PvP. But obviously, we do fleets together with the Alliance pretty frequently. Obviously, we're usually top 50, top 40 in the Alliance as far as like activity goes for PvP. You know, I like to take pride in that. There's a lot of corps
Hell yeah.
in this Alliance, and we're always up there. We're always gaming. We're always down to PvP.
You gotta be them gamer dudes. As shell shocked and Violent Plum say, wait, we do stuff, and I thought it was only things. Do you do stuff?
Yeah, we do
or
things and stuff.
Or
Yeah.
stuff and things and stuff.
Yeah, it's a pretty much it's a pretty free corp. You come in, you do what you want. You know, as long as you follow the rules set by the Imperium and goons, you're never hear from me about it.
Hell yeah. Alright, so this is the last question that I have. And that would be, are there any big accomplishments? We've talked about you guys having dropped a keep star. That was crooked, and I would say
It
that's
wasn't like we didn't. It was in the Alliance's holding corp, but yeah, it was, you know,
Okay.
it was Severance's keep star, and U4D was Severance. Yes, it was crooked as, and I'll love it to the bitter end, but still. But yes, but
Yeah.
Severance was U4D and U4D was Severance. We were basically a big corp.
Yeah.
That's why I spoke in our fashion the way I did a lot.
And they are saying that y'all made Spartan cry a lot.
Yeah, the last Spartan, I called him the last strap on. He was the FC for
That is
Wrecking
awesome.
Crew, and I hated his guts. The weenie commander in chief.
That is fantastically funny.
And
I love it.
and his best buddy Rocket, who wore roller skates.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
The weenie general. Yeah.
So, are there any big accomplishments that Un4seen Development has that you can talk about?
So yeah, we
talked
had
about
that.
a little bit, but I just want
That's
to
pretty
like.
much. I mean, we don't have what's an accomplishment in this game. We got
Everything?
we got the speed nerf on the Un4seen modules. That was partially our fault. We got to be one of the first alliances to test Fozzie Sov. We got to be PL's kicking bag for years. What else?
I mean,
Took
I would
him
say.
the number one Hecate feeder in the game, I think.
I mean, I'd say it's an accomplishment that you made them pissed off enough to become their punching bag. That like that in itself.
Yeah, I guess
you're-
that's an achievement. I'll take that.
You're showing you've got skill and you've pissed them off enough. I would say that's an achievement. I know it's just me, but I would say that is an achievement. And like, hey, it's a good one to me.
Yeah, so that's it. That's pretty much it. We don't have a lot of like, I don't know what's an achievement in this game. Blowing up a keep star. How many small hands of groups have done that? I mean, I've killed more keep stars than I can think of. 100 probably. I can't even count them.
I've killed a handful, and I think killing a keep star is like a entry level. But I think when you get to the point where a horde sig is starting to call you their personal punching bag, or
Well, it wasn't their SIG, it was just their whole alliance. They're just like, you know, we're gonna kill these guys because fuck them.
you know, I would call that an accomplishment because it means that
It was
you
alright, it was
guys
I'll take it.
are annoying enough and good enough at PvP to go, hey, they said fuck you. Like, that's my thinking out of it, you know?
So yes, I have some malice towards Pandemic. Fear not.
And that is appreciated, acceptable. I don't
And
know.
the goons, they're okay. You don't have to say goons all the time. They're fine. They're not as bad as I thought they were. They were portrayed as evil baby killers.
And they're really not. Like,
they're really not. They're actually super chill.
oh my, yeah, the amount of people that I just go and pop in and go, hey fuckers, and everybody's like, oh hey, the all in on supporting each other, like Proximus said.
Oh, that's
like there's a lot.
Yeah.
So it's
propaganda, right? You know, hoard the Kool-Aid over there. I don't know what they put in it, but they brainwash them.
maybe they put asbestos in there.
I drank some. Because I drank some of that Kool-Aid.
You know, I have not consumed any of that Kool-Aid. I've been pretty lucky to have avoided that Kool-Aid spill. But
God bless.
you know, that's what I tell people when looking for a corp. If you can smell Kool-Aid, run.
Well, yeah. There's no Kool-Aid here. I know for a fact that hordes are weenies. I don't gotta sugarcoat it. They're evil bastards, and I hope they all burn.
You know, I think we had a war for that recently.
Yeah,
But,
it was pretty cool.
But with that, that is all the questions that I have.
All right.
Is there anything like the last thing that I can like? The only thing that I usually close with is, you know, is there anything that you forgot to say that you want to say that needs to be said?
Spartan's a weenie. I'm not running for CSM, and Asher's is cool.
I absolutely love it. All right. Thank you so much, CJ. I absolutely appreciate your time. Thank you for coming and hanging out and telling some cool war stories from both.
Many war stories.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. I'm being told that CSM runs for you. Uh-oh.
Yeah, man.
You want to go hide in your retirement home.
That's probably my sponsor speaking out that he wants me to run some more.
It's okay. It's okay. I keep getting people ask when Rose for CSF, and I'm like, no.
Well, you've been doing the Alliance tournament stuff, haven't you?
Yeah, so I cast Feeders the last 2 weekends, and then back in March, April, I hosted a tournament, or helped host a tournament.
Yeah,
I did half
sick.
the time, somebody else did half the time, and it's, I do a lot of the tournament stuff. I try. I'm still learning. I think this is a game where you don't stop learning.
No.
At all.
Playing for over a decade, and I'm still learning.
So, you're being reminded to get your FC PAP this month.
I did. Did I? Maybe not September.
Well, it is September, so I will let them bop you with the newspaper if they want, but I will let you go so you can go eat food, go hang out, and go have some.
All right, thanks for the interview, Rose. It was good fun.
Hell yeah, I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a good evening, and they're all gonna catch you later. We'll all catch you later as well.
Yeah, I'll see you all in Fleet probably.
You better get in your fleets.
Bye-bye.